Hello again. I'm talking to the workshop joiners here. But guys, have you ever made something in a workshop that you liked it so much that you didn't want to give it to the customer? Happens all the time. A bakery product that's never right, 4 down, starts with a meringue. Morning. It's raining again outside, and the sound will be picking us up, but that's Scotland. This week we're going to make a double winding oak staircase. Going to make it through in a big workshop, and I'll give you a wee look of what it's like. Now I'm going to show you step by step of how to set out to make this staircase, and we'll see how we get on. But it's one of my favourite jobs, but the CNC machine does this in a quarter of the time. So we're going to do it by hand, of course using a router and a couple of machines, but we'll see how we get on. Let's crack on. Right, first thing to do is to draw a 1:1 scale of the staircase plan view on an 8x4 sheet of MDF, and I use small sticks to lay out where each tread is. I only draw in the first 4 treads and the last 4 treads. I measure between each rise of 50mm. On a tread that's got a 21mm nose overhang, that gives you 71mm of a tread right in the corner. At the middle of the tread should be the same size as the going of a normal stair coming up the middle of the straight ones, which is about 250mm of a going, 10 inch. Now I put each tread on to the rise mark on the back, and I transfer the lines up and over onto the treads, and then I cut to that. I do each tread in line, and each tread must go into the stringer and into the newel post by 7mm, and you'll see another square inside that square. Here I'm going to do the longest stringer first, because if there's any mistakes, then I could use the mistake on a shorter stringer. So it's always best to do that first. And also do a 1:1 drawing of the small stringer on the left, which is the top, and the small stringer on the right, which is at the bottom. The drawing in the top right hand corner, it starts at the bottom. That's where it starts. The stair goes up and then round to the left. And that shape I just drew there is just sort of to give it a nice curved look instead of being straight. At the top of the stringer, there's 3 newel posts. Make sure with your short stringers, or stringers that go into newel posts, make sure you leave them long enough to form a tenon on it. I'm assuming that any guy that wants to have a go at making a winding staircase is a joiner, and he'll understand the terminology that I'm saying. Using that jig for the stair produces a 21mm overhang on the nosing. And the cutter that's in the router has got a slight dovetail on it, so that when you jam in your threads with the wedges, then it closes up the joints nice and tight. Here is the newel post. The thread hits the newel post at different angles as it comes round. You get all these off your drawing, off the 1:1 scale drawing. Don't deviate from the drawing. If you start to add a bit here, add a bit there, nope, it's not going to fit and your staircase is going to be out of square. This is a template that I use to do my tenons on a stringer. I use it to guide the router, and I flip it over and I guide the other side, and it makes the tenon shoulders square to each other. And also for my mortise with the router, you need at least 50mm of a tenon, and in some cases a stringer will come off a newel post on one face and then another on another face, and they bump into each other, and you're going to have to miter your tenons inside. I'm just going to check between the newel posts that everything is parallel and square. I'll let you know that something's right. And the whole thing is just one big jigsaw puzzle. I said at the beginning that a CNC machine takes a quarter of the time to make this, but I think it's even less than that. If you've surveyed the job correctly and you've drawn it correctly, it's not too difficult. I've made over 100 of these staircases, and when you fit them on site, you bang in your wedges and you make sure everything is glued up, and you'll never get them squeaking.